answered every challenge. An undefeated season, a Big Ten title, a Heisman Trophy, and a Rose Bowl aftertaste. To the field here in Ann Arbor, to the bigger house, 5,500 additional seats. And once again, this is the largest stadium for college football. And today it rocks for Syracuse and Michigan. Good afternoon and welcome everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. Welcome to a September knockout round. Both of these fine teams, coming off losses, know that it is virtually impossible to reach the bowl championship game January at the Fiesta Bowl with 2 losses. That means that Syracuse and Michigan have never played such a critical game this early in the season. And Dan, what a contrast we've got between these two schools.
Well, Lloyd Carr told us yesterday they were humiliated against Notre Dame in the second half last week. To get back on the winning track, power football, running the ball between the tackles. Now the contrast lies in Syracuse. The true Heisman Trophy candidate in Donovan McNabb operating a wide-open offense with 2 outstanding wide receivers that average nearly 20 yards per catch. New scoreboards here at the big stadium, Brent. They're going to need them today.
And they welcome Lloyd Carr in his 4th year, coming off a co-national championship. Oh, Pasqualoni in his 8th year at Syracuse. The kickoff is with Dan Fouts and Jack Arute. I'm Brent Musburger. Michigan to kick it off. Jay Feely, who won this battle in practice during the week, to kick it to Syracuse. Ian McIntosh and Kevin Johnson are back deep, and McIntosh fields it at the 2 from the middle of the field, slides over to the left, and number 2 looking for a lane is going to be out of bounds. That is good kickoff coverage by Michigan against some of the finest special teams in the land. Now, our starting lineup. You know all about Donovan McNabb, but keep an eye on Rob Conrad, number 44. He's the best senior fullback in the country. Our Chili's lineups continue. Pick your poison here. 4-4, 4-5. 2 burners who can flat out fly. The offensive line must hold up today. Scott Kiernan. He has started 3 years at that guard spot. That side is fine. It's the other side that'll be the question mark here today against a determined Wolverine defense. Donovan McNabb, one of the finest all-around quarterbacks in the land. They show a wishbone look, come down the line with the option. McNabb to keep it on 1st down, and McNabb is out to the 27-yard line. Picks up about 5 yards with Tommy Hendricks making the stop on this Michigan defense today. They were embarrassed a week ago. Fizzell has replaced the great Steele, and that defensive line tried to hold up. The linebackers have been juggled. Dhani Jones, number 55, goes outside, attempting to stop this option attack with Donovan McNabb. Marcus Ray, all Big Ten safety, starts back there, number 29. And we come out now with a 2nd down and 4. So make it a 6-yard gain. Strong option run, and they show shotgun here with McNabb. Strong arm, open man, 1st down. Fires it over to the right side, and Syracuse moves quickly out to the 42-yard line, and he completes his first pass of the day for 14 yards.
Syracuse comes out with 4 wide receivers, and this is what may cause a lot of problems for Michigan in the secondary. This is Jackson with the catch, and he's not even their best.
Wing bone. Keep it and come down the line. Going to the far side. McNabb's a dandy. Late pitch. Got the corner out of bounds at midfield. And that shows you the danger. And they bring Jackson after the reception, coming around on the late pitch.
This is one of the best offenses in college football. And if you look at the goals here, they go down the 200 yards and the 60% pass completion. But it's his final one, score and then kick field goals when you can, but punt the ball over your opponent's 30-yard line. In other words, turn this into a game of field position.
2 yards for the 1st down for Syracuse. Opening series of the game, now playing with half a football field. Moves the tight end, power show left. Run up with McIntosh in that direction. He's got another Syracuse 1st down, and it is a positive start as Tommy Hendricks from Houston, Texas, makes his 2nd stop of the game.
Now, Jim Herman, the defensive coordinator for Michigan, of course, the 3 yards or less on 1st down. They haven't been able to do that yet. Under 13 points is an unbelievable number. But remember, last year, this defense held their opponents to 9.5 points per game.
Syracuse just inside the Michigan 45 with their first possession. They line up in the I. They have changed formations. They have given them a different look. They have not shown the same thing twice in the opening drive. Play fake. McNabb, strong arm, gets Conrad coming out of the backfield, and he is slammed at the 41-yard line. Strong tackle that time by the Michigan defender Marcus Ray, number 29.
But what you're talking about, Brent, is we're seeing a lot of offense from the Orangemen already in this ball game. Conrad's been involved with a pass reception there. McIntosh on the option play. But McNabb's really the trigger man. He is such a poised athlete. He is the best athlete playing the quarterback position in all of college football.
Looking at a 2nd and 7. Kevin Johnson, the dangerous one, is slotted off to the left. Quentin Spotwood is down to your right toward the bottom. Michigan shows a zone over there against the slot man. He looks away from it, comes Spotwood, and he is slammed by Whitley at the 36-yard line, short of the first down. Somewhat surprisingly, Donovan McNabb looked off the left side where he had a soft corner.
But what he's doing with this 3-step drop is he's preventing Michigan from generating any type of pass rush. But a good sign for Michigan is that solid tackle by Whitley. Last week in the second half against Notre Dame, Michigan was absolutely terrible tackling.
Coming up now with a 3rd down and 2 here for Syracuse. The option, a great play. They line up in the shotgun. Conrad is right next to him. Comes back right side, got it, put it in Jackson's hands for another first down inside the 30-yard line. Syracuse showing even arrogance on this drive, Dan, lining back up that time and just firing to the open man for the first down.
Absolutely no pass rush from Michigan. In fact, they didn't get a sack last week against Notre Dame, so against a couple of mobile quarterbacks, and we haven't even seen McNabb when he's most dangerous, and that's when they do get a powerful pass rush, when he can use his scrambling ability and get guys open in the secondary.
7 yards per attempt. And he's perfect on all 4 attempts for 29 yards. You keep that up, you'll cause this Michigan defense a lot of trouble here this afternoon. Handed off to McIntosh. McIntosh is stopped in the center, picked up about a yard as the Wolverines close down on him.
But the one thing that this Orangeman offense will do is it spreads the field with 4 wide receivers and the option play across the width of the field. But with the speed of the outside receivers, Kevin Johnson, who runs a 4-3, and Quentin Spotwood, who's a 4-4 guy, they can also stretch the field down the field. Look for Syracuse at this point to go deep before they get too crowded in the red zone.
2nd down and 8. Slot man is off to the left. He's going to look in that direction, fire at the first down, had it. It's complete, and it's a Syracuse first down. Quentin Spotwood, number 8, been timed in 4-4. Great hands, goes and get the ball when you gotta have it.
And after the play action, watch McNabb get his feet set and just come right over the top. Watch where the ball hits the receiver, right in the chest. Every pass he's thrown so far in this first drive has been right on the chest.
The Michigan offense better get ready. This is about to become a shootout if Syracuse can score on this first drive. And they have moved to the 12-yard line. First down for the Orangemen. There's the option. Michigan ran it. He stepped inside Whitley. McNabb with a great run and out of bounds. It'll be 1st and goal for Syracuse. Whitley had the play read perfectly, and McNabb simply stepped inside of him and ran for the big game.
And it was a corner blitz by Whitley, Brent. From the right side, you'll see number 5 come in, attacking number 5 in the orange helmet. But this is the poise of McNabb. Doesn't even bother to fake Whitley, just knows he's got Conrad out in front and 1 wide receiver, Daniel, and that's a huge gain.
McNabb with his tight end to the right. They split the backs with that wishbone looking at backfield that you're so familiar with if you follow Syracuse. Down the line comes McNabb. Now he pitches it out. Corner, touchdown on their opening drive. Kevin Johnson steps into the end zone. He moved from his wide receiver spot, came to the left halfback, and brought it around to the corner, and Syracuse strikes first.
About as perfect an opening drive as you'll ever see anyone. Johnson is the wide receiver who lines up in the backfield. There's the poise and the patience of McNabb, and the speed of Johnson outraces the blue and maize to the corner of the end zone.
Here is Nate Trout. What a wonderful opening drive for Syracuse. 4 different running backs, 3 different receivers, and the senior quarterback moves it around as Nate Trout adds the extra point. The Orangemen strike first. It'll be Michigan's turn when we come back. Coaches talk about balance. 39 yards rush, 39 yards pass, 78 yards for a touchdown. And now Trout with the ball on the tee, and Michigan will handle it for the first time. And of course it was special teams and a huge fumble by this young man against Notre Dame, determined today. Clarence Williams. He's your middleman, standing back there out the 2-yard line. High kickoff from Trout right at the goal line. Coming out. 5. He's got the 20 in a hole. Battles his way to the 29-yard line. Dan, let's go back to the score.
And let's look at regular speed at these 2 guys out here. Marcus Ray, 29, and Dhani Jones. And this is what is going to cause Michigan problems today, is the speed of Syracuse, especially on this option. Johnson just runs away from 3 Wolverines and scores easily. But on that drive, Brent, not one negative play for Syracuse. Every play they ran was a positive play.
Evan Coleman will open at fullback. They had a fumble from that position last week also. Williams is your tailback. And, of course, the quarterback is Tom Brady. He threw for 267 yards. A week ago, you couldn't blame Tom. They put it into Williams' hands, and he slashes out to the 32-yard line. And here is your lineup. We mentioned Tom Brady, but Clarence Williams today had 114 yards against the Irish, but that big fumble. Now, Jeremy Tooman is the tight end that Syracuse really fears here today. He caught only 2 passes versus the Irish. John Jansen, 6'7", 299-pound offensive tackle. He must lead this Michigan running revival as they come up now with a 2nd and 7, and Brady swings it on out. Nice catch by Williams. Tries for the corner. Penalty flag has been thrown. Coming back was Ty Street, and as he came back, he committed the infraction.
Yeah, it's going to be an illegal block against Ty Streets, and that wipes out a good play by the Wolverines. But maybe if he didn't make the illegal block, it wouldn't have been such a good play.
Now here is the defense, and this line faces huge challenge here today. They were just okay against Tennessee. Mark Pilon passed up the Canadian Football League to come back for his final year. Keith Bullock from New York City has moved to the middle. He led the team in tackles against the Volunteers. And the nickel man, folks, David Byrd, track star, returns after a year off. He's the fastest man on the team, Dan.
And he will be used in a 3-man rotation on the corner. Byrd, McIntosh, and Will Allen. Will Allen, who got called for that pass interference call last week against Tennessee.
2nd and 17, and so Anthony Thomas checks into the backfield alongside Brady. Has time, fires, picked off at the 31-yard line. Intercepted by David Byrd, the nickel man. What a story he is. Was watching television, the Fiesta Bowl, and said, I miss football, and came back to the team. And he stands in there and makes the pick.
And he reads the receiver's route, gets a little push there, but look at the quickness as he steps in front of Marcus Knight there. This is a great interception. As a quarterback, you are told to throw the ball to the inside. It looked like Knight did not come back to the ball, and Brady led the defensive back perfectly.
If you're a Michigan fan or a coach right now, you're holding your breath. There's 7 up on the board, and here comes the magic man again. Donovan McNabb, a senior. He has started all 4 years. He's one of the most experienced quarterbacks in the land. Moving his receivers around. Spotwood now outside left. Bring option down to the short side of the field and keeping it. Swiveling his hips and finally out of bounds at the 26-yard line. And that was Brackens who drove the quarterback out.
it's great to watch McNabb operate on this option because he doesn't ever look like he's out of control or in a hurry or panicking. He shouldn't. He's a senior. He's been around for quite a while at Syracuse. But to his patience to read the defense and then get positive yards, and then get down or out of bounds and avoids the hit.
2nd down and 5 for the Orangemen. Pasqualoni's team on the drive again. They had a lengthy walkthrough practice yesterday in Ann Arbor. Fumble, and there's their problem. On the center exchange, the same thing that affected them last week against Tennessee, and Bowen, the center, is able to pounce down on the ball. And you've got to wonder, Dan, what the problem is. You've got a second-year center, fourth-year quarterback, and they just cannot connect. And we will take you back last week against Tennessee and show you all these problems.
Well, and when you fumble the quarterback exchange, the center exchange, even if you don't recover it, or if you do recover it, you've lost the play. And this is unbelievable. Last week, 3 times against Tennessee, nothing on the first drive, but the second play of this drive is leaving it on the grass again.
Well, the bad news for Syracuse is they fumbled it. The good news is they got it back. And now they face Michigan with a 3rd down and 5. Darrell Daniel will go wide left. Spotwood comes down to the right. And the backs are split. McNabb straight back. Left side, he's all alone. It's a touchdown. Conrad. A defensive breakdown, and Conrad was all alone. He goes into the end zone for the 2nd touchdown. Nobody was over there. I have never heard the largest crowd in college football as quiet as they are right now. There's a few orange-shirted fans cheering, but folks, the air has just gone out of the big house. And Johnson will hold it for Nate Trout, his 2nd extra point. And just like that, touchdown on the opening drive. Then they turn an interception into their 2nd score.
McNabb proving that he can read defenses from the pocket as well. You will never, ever see a running back, wide receiver, tight end any more wide open than Rob Conrad.
There's trouble in River City, folks. Fargas has checked in for Michigan. Fumbles in the end zone and elects to come out anyway. Down at the 16-yard line. Oh, my. Let's check in now with John Saunders in New York. John.
Brent, it's time for the Burger King update. Remember last year, UCLA blows out Texas 66-3. They're at it again. Lewis to Freddie Mitchell, 34 yards to Brian Pauly Dixon, touchdown. And Jermaine Lewis has added a 4-yard touchdown run as well. 14-0 already. Brent.
Well, John, if you're a Texas fan, that's the bad news. The good news is not yet 66-3.
And it's early, as it is here for Michigan fans.
We had a penalty. And I believe it's going to be taken back again, and this will bury Michigan inside the 10-yard line. Oh, my. Lloyd Carr looking at the kind of start that he never experienced a year ago when he won a co-national championship along with Nebraska, an undefeated season, and now a team facing an uphill battle. No Charles Woodson, no Brian Greasy. Got to do it with new faces. 1st down and 18 now. Clarence Williams back in. Michigan offsets the fullback. Play fake. Going to throw from the end zone. Going to go deep. Streets out there. No. Overthrown.
Part of Michigan's offensive goal for this week, offensive coordinator Mike DeBoer told us that he wants his team to get 200 yards rushing, 200 yards passing, but the most important thing is in the rushing. More consistent runs. 150 yards last week, but if they didn't have the consistent 5 to 6 yard gain, they busted a couple of long ones.
Watching, knowing now more than anything he needs points. Here's Williams tripped up at the 5-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and long for Michigan.
As far as George DeLeon, the defensive coordinator for Syracuse, is concerned, wants to keep Michigan under 150 yards. That means they won't have ball control, under 17 points. But the 5 drives with 3 plays and outs is key, because it goes back to the fact that they want to win the battle of field position. This will help Syracuse special teams, which are absolutely excellent.
The 2 freshman wideouts from Michigan, David Terrell and Marquise Walker from Syracuse, are in the game. This is the 4-pack, and they elect to run out of it, and Michigan must punt. The crowd did not like that play call. They saw the field spread wide with 4 wideouts, and they wanted Carr's team to put it up, and they did not. This crowd will grow restless. They were not happy with losing to Notre Dame, one of their arch rivals, and now they trail Syracuse by 2 scores early with Jason Vincent, who did not punt all that well in South Bend. Almost got it, and Vincent, second hop, Spotwood fields it, and it go down in a hurry. That was great coverage that time for Michigan as they get back down there and bring him down. Donovan McNabb off to a great start at the Big House.
They've gone up by 2 touchdowns, 14-zip, and it's excellent news for an area that was decimated by storms all last week, early in the week. The team had to practice in their regular area, but in the Carrier Dome, and that was a little bit different than they were used to, Brent.
Now here is Donovan McNabb again, keeping it, banging for the first down, crossing midfield. And I am not sure that Michigan has a clue about stopping Syracuse as I watch this game unfold. Now, the Orangemen might stop themselves, and they did botch a center snap. But I am watching the option work. I am watching receivers break wide open when they need it. And I am seeing Michigan just reeling right now.
And this is one of their better players, Dahani Jones, on the option, not attacking the quarterback so that he would pitch it to McIntosh, and then not having the speed to catch up with the quarterback.
You gamble when you change positions during the week. Frequently, you weaken 2 rather than strengthening 1. First down and 10. Syracuse inside the 50 again. McNabb off a play fake and a foot race. Look at that arm. Beautiful strike. Throwing against his body as he went over to the sideline and hitting his tight end, Stephen Bromensky from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
This is what happens when you run the option well. The tight end is going to sneak down to the corner of the field here and watch the Michigan players as they come up on the play action.
Just over the Michigan 20-yard line.
Great fake by the quarterback and the tailback, and another Syracuse Orangeman wide open in the secondary.
There's a whole lot of folks better count on Ohio State. Is Sam Sword. He was slowed by an injury, and Sword unable to start, so he steps in now to see if he can bail this defense out. It's a first down for Syracuse. Comes Conrad. Stood up that time as they ran him from the tailback spot, and that was a read from Michigan. Jake Freisinger, a sophomore who was a special team star a year ago. Good future ahead for Jake, and he makes the play that time.
We've seen 4 wide receivers. We've seen a wide receiver lineup in that backfield. That time, the Orangemen came in with 3 tight ends and tried to run the power football right at Michigan. That's their worst play of the day so far.
First negative yardage, certainly, Dan. Second down and 12. Now Spotwood and Johnson overload to that left side. McNabb checks over there to see what the coverage looks like. Looks in that side, going to go underneath and hit the Daniels, swinging out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So Kevin Johnson, let's check that. I think I said it was Daniel. Kevin Johnson with another catch, the underneath man, and Jones in pursuit of him, Dan.
You know, it's easy to confuse them because they all wear team numbers or low numbers. They all run about the same. They look like great athletes, very fast, and they catch the ball well with their hands.
100 yards already and perfect. With now Jeff Lowe checking in, and they spread the field on 3rd and 6. Lowe with wonderful hands. The shotgun. Gonna go the fade, incomplete. It is clear that from upstairs, the Syracuse spies up here in the box say we can pass all day on these guys.
It's pretty clear, Brent, that the one thing that McNabb did that time is he didn't force it. Knew he was in field goal range, saw his receiver covered, just let it go.
They tried 4 field goals against Tennessee after missing his first. He'll attempt a 33-yarder here against Michigan. And the numbers continue to go up for the Orangemen. A 17-point lead. Clarence Williams back in as the deep man. A stunned Michigan team trailing by 17 points, and there are still, remember, 5:19 to go in the first. This is shades of what Oregon did to Michigan State last week in Eugene. A shorter kickoff. Williams on a bounce. Slips through and then down at the 22. You know the great tradition here at Michigan, right under the M Club banner. Been doing it for years. The Victors is playing and the place is rocking. Last night, ladies and gentlemen, that was stolen. That's right. Somebody got into the Chrysler Fieldhouse, and so look at the banner they had to run under. Now you know that that's bad karma when that happens.
And I didn't do it.
Now that's not going to show up in a Syracuse fraternity house, is it? Huh? How about Michigan State up at what? You know, I don't know. I'm not going to blame you.
That was a sorry replacement, and the Wolverines are playing just as sorry. I've never seen a team so confused on defense as what we're seeing out of Michigan in this first quarter. With 5 minutes yet to go. Field position has been key for Syracuse, but every time they've had the ball, they've had maybe 2 plays that they had the 1 fumble snap, and then Conrad lost a couple of yards, but everything else they're doing is perfect.
Justin Fargas is in. Tom Brady. If you're wondering about the phenom Drew Henson, coaches said he wouldn't come in until the second, but Fargas, the freshman sensation from the West Coast, slides out at the 26-yard line, and a very interesting story. This is a young man who apparently was headed to USC. John Robinson had him all wrapped up. Then when they went through that turmoil out there and Robinson was ousted, Fargas said, maybe I don't want to go there after all. And I kind of like the Michigan tradition. And here he is right now. His daddy was Huggy Bear on Starsky and Hutch. That's right. And his son, one of the best high school running backs in the country, whistled before the snap. Michigan problems, turnovers today. In case you just joined us, Syracuse took the opening kickoff down.
Prior to the snap, false start by the offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
He's got to like the numbers that Syracuse is racking up so far.
No excuse for him to lose track of the downs. You know, that's how I figure, right?
You know, in this era, in these days of home run hitters, Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa and Griffey and everything, they like to use the home run terminology about Fargas. They say with his speed, he can hit it out of the park.
They'll put Thomas in motion, and Fargas as the lone running back. A press front from Syracuse coming. They tried to set the screen, and he almost threw an interception to a lineman. Simpkins, 98, was right there, and Brady almost handed him another touchdown.
And the young freshman, Justin Fargas, went the wrong way on the screen. He goes left. Brady is looking to his right. The linemen are coming out on the screen to the right. Where's the running back? Brady can't see him. And then he almost throws an interception. That would have been a walk-in score for Syracuse. More mistakes for Michigan.
Third down and 11. The 4 wideout package. That means the 2 freshmen, Terrell and Walker, back out on the field. Brady looking for his first completion, and he has got it into Knight's hands, but not much of a gain. Michigan forced to punt as Phil Nash, their fine free safety from Florida, played a whale of a game last week against Tennessee. He comes up and makes the stop, and this young man, Drew Henson, from nearby Brighton, Michigan, better get that right arm ready. You know the story. A $2 million signing bonus from the New York Yankees. He's going to be in this game. Blocked! Partially blocked! A special team advantage for Syracuse again, and they're going to play with a field that's only 37 yards long.
And it was Pat Woodcock, number 16, a reserve wide receiver, who got in. Remember the first punt, Jason Poole almost got the block. This time, Woodcock does, and again, more mistakes for Michigan. It's on offense, it's on defense, and now it's in special teams.
And Mr. Fouts, take a look at this from this angle. Low snap.
But Poles on the previous punt got real close to blocking one. And Woodcock gets his hands on this one.
And here comes Mr. McNabb. Donovan changing up the formation. Late pitch now to Kevin Johnson on the wing around, out of bounds at the 30-yard line. A reminder, next Saturday at 3:30 here on ABC, we've got college football regional action. Ohio State will take on Missouri. That's in Columbus. BYU will go to Seattle for Washington. Texas and Kansas State, Clemson, Virginia. So check your local listings and call your cable areas, cable operator, and see if you can get a couple of games.
And Lloyd Carr was concerned with how poorly Michigan tackled last week, their lack of aggressiveness, their bad kicking game, and then their offense not taking advantage of scoring opportunities. That hasn't been the problem, but the first three have certainly been a problem in the first quarter.
Moving the tight ends over to the right-hand side. McIntosh slashes off the right side, so they came back with a basic power play against Michigan that time. Sam Sword making the stop, and the runner is down at the 26-yard line, but enough for a first down for Syracuse, and they move the chains again.
You've got the wide receivers, Spotwood and Johnson and Daniel, and then the big fullback in Conrad. The guy that kind of gets lost in all this is McIntosh. He's only 5'8", if that. He lines up behind Conrad in that big offensive line. He's tough to see.
Ball at the Wolverine 26-yard line. First down for the Orangemen. To the wide side, McNabb keeps it. Could not slip the defender who was down that time as he was tripping up as he crosses the 25-yard line. That was Marcus Ray who was down, but he spoiled the play.
And we saw a lot of indecision on Michigan's part trying to stop the option earlier in the game. That was the best defense against the option. They were more aggressive. Marcus Ray went after the quarterback that time. Here's Dahani Jones, number 55 on the outside. He's going to take away the pitch. This is good team defense by Michigan.
Second down and 9. What's so tough about this is that McNabb and Syracuse will change up the look. Now they show a basic pro set with a slot man out to the right-hand side, and McNabb short drop, fires, wide open. Johnson having a field day down at the 16, and that's right around the first down marker. We'll wait to see on that. Ray all over the field defensively for the Wolverines.
Totally different type of offense the Wolverines are seeing this week than they saw last week against Notre Dame.
First down for the Orangemen. The chains are moved.
We talked about field position. Syracuse's average field position so far has been their own 49 when they've started drives. Half a field.
McIntosh and Conrad in front of him. First down for the Orange. It's a power I set. Two tight ends, and then they come off with the option. Look at McNabb tripped up in the backfield that time. It was number 28 for Michigan. That was Anthony Jordan who tripped him up. And let's go down to Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, you know, a lot of people that follow Donovan McNabb know that off and on he tried out in the Syracuse basketball regime as a reserve. Well, this year, he wanted to dedicate his whole mind to football, knowing it was his last chance at football on the collegiate level. So he didn't go out for Boeheim's team. He elected to study film, and a lot of the coaches say that that single-mindedness is paying off right now. They said he wasn't distracted, and it's a more disciplined Donovan McNabb that comes up behind center.
All right, Jack, he's on the right hash now with a second down and 10. Going to throw the fade for a Spotwood. Going to go for the end zone. Got it running out of bounds. No, he stepped out. It is waved off. He stepped out of bounds. The field judge was right there on the call. Had a good look at it.
He stepped out of bounds long before the ball even got to him. James Whitley is number 5, and he's going to do a good job of forcing Spotwood too wide. And there is a great call by the official to see maybe just a little toe step on the sideline there.
141, and that is Bowen, the center.
Reports injuries from the sidelines.
All right, Jack. Alexander, a redshirt freshman, steps into that center spot. He'll hike the ball to McNabb. Bobbled, there it is. Snap exchange. Michigan pounds on it this time. I'll be surprised if someone in a Michigan jersey is not there, but hold on. The way they're backing away from it.
And I'm real surprised that during the injury timeout that McNabb and Alexander didn't take any practice snaps.
Looks like they got it back, Dan, the way they're keeping the offense on the field, the defense still out there for Michigan. Just take a look at this. I thought for sure Michigan was going to get this one.
Looked like the ball came up to the quarterback, and if you're going to start pointing the finger at anybody, well, McNabb has fumbled twice today on center exchange from two different centers. It may be the quarterback's fault.
McNabb with a save on that gives Trout a field goal opportunity of 35 yards. He can make this a 20-point lead. No good. Opportunity passed, and Michigan now will try to take advantage of it. They have been dominated, but the Syracuse center is out. And now Pasqualoni's defense. Brady still the quarterback as Anthony Thomas comes in. Michigan without a first down yet in this game. Thomas trying to do something about that. Out of bounds at the 29-yard line, and may have been just short of that as Keith Bullock, the middleman from New York City, field position, a huge story here.
Now, this is one of the goals that the Syracuse Orangemen wanted to attain today, was to win the battle of field position. Mission accomplished.
Isn't that the truth?
So far.
Second down and 1. There's their first down of the game, and it took Anthony Thomas, the sophomore from Winfield, Louisiana, to bang in there. Jason Coles making the stop, and missing that field goal has given the Wolverines their first lift. The Big House starting to come alive.
And it's power running from Michigan. 2 plays in a row now from Thomas. One, he finished the play off with a great straight arm on the safety. That time he lowered his shoulder and punished the defender.
Knight will be the slot receiver over to the right. They send Ray Jackson, the fullback, out wide. They're going to run out of that formation with Jackson blocking on that side, on the short side of the field. And Thomas runs it to the 40-yard line for about 4 yards before Greenwood. Moreland Greenwood from Freeport, New York, the linebacker, makes the stop. And Thomas now getting the carries. And remember, the young Fargas, the freshman, blew an assignment on a screen pass. We may not see him for a while.
No, what Lloyd Carr told us, he wanted to use all 3 of his running backs and see which one has the hot hand. Off of those last 3 carries, I'd say Anthony Thomas is going to be the guy.
Come to the end of the first quarter. It was a Syracuse explosion. Kevin Johnson running in. The interception by Bird, and the Orangemen weren't finished. They lead, favored Michigan 17-0. Timeout. He's averaging 6.6 yards a play. Michigan ran 11 plays and averaged only 3.1. The Wolverines will try to do something about that here in the second quarter. Brady hands it off. Thomas swallowed that time. Brian Coleman, the senior defensive tackle. And again, the big question about the Orangemen would be that defensive front here today.
And so far, Michigan has been able to pound the right side of the Syracuse defensive front for their best running plays. Brady had a hot start last week against Notre Dame when he was 5 for 5, only 1 for 4 with 1 pick in that first quarter.
Third down.
It is third down for the Wolverines, and the markers don't show nearly that much. I think the scoreboard is wrong, fellas, on the distance here. Here is the swing. They put it into Thomas's hands. Syracuse read it. Bullock Now remember the story of Bullock. They moved him from the outside into the middle, that tough position in this defense, and he is holding up very well, thank you.
14 tackles last week against Tennessee, but I really don't like this play selection by Michigan. 3rd and 5 or 6, and they swing it out and lose yards.
This punt is off and into the hands of Spotwood. That great speed, looking for an alley, going to take the deep dip. Not going to get it to the 21. Michigan in hot pursuit. Dahani Jones, the starting linebacker, was among those chasing the quick one. We're going to take a break. Syracuse leads Michigan. It's Donovan McNabb's show. 17-point Syracuse lead with Alexander, redshirt freshman. Another problem. Loose ball. Michigan says they've got this one. Michigan with a chance as Jordan recovers the fumble.
3 times last week, 3 times today, and this one could be the most damaging. You see Alexander with the ball out there, but that time looked like it came up short to McNabb, and that time Michigan covers it.
Big ovation for number 7. When I went past the Michigan den yesterday with my spotter, Brian Mulvison, the jersey 7 already hanging on the racks. All he's got to do is produce. Thomas, not much there as he's run out of bounds on the far side by a surging Syracuse defense. Greenwood, you know the most famous number in Syracuse history? And who were the 3 Michigan players to win the Heisman Trophy? That is our trivia question today. We thought we'd give you a layup, Michigan fans. You can think about that one.
Well, I know 2, and I know that you probably went to school with the other 3rd, or at least covered it, didn't you?
The first one. second down and 10. Once graced the cover of Life magazine, huh? Here he is, hits its first throw, and it is complete. He hits Knight to the 16-yard line. So his first pass in the big house. Now he threw for a touchdown last week against the Irish late in that loss.
I thought he was pretty impressive against Notre Dame coming in as a freshman. The game was already lost, but he still went out and performed. Hit 5 out of 8, and that 1 touchdown pass to Tuman. The job by Knight here, giving the quarterback a good target, drifting to the outside away from the secondary, and then getting close to a first down.
3rd down and 4 for the Wolverines, their best chance of the day. Hits it, gonna throw a fade, incomplete and out of the end zone. Screech, the intended receiver, and the safety, Nash, all over him as the Bruins continue to dominate Texas now, 21-3 in that game.
And that ball was so far over the head of the receiver, the official said that there was no pass interference. This is an interesting call, though. Lloyd Carr needs points. He's going to send out Feely to try to get 3.
Down by 17. It's 4th down and 4 yards to go for the first down. And it's a fake. Brady throw back. Feely got it. No! Syracuse ball short of the first down as Phil Nash will not be denied. The fine safety for the Orangemen. The senior comes up and makes the play, and Michigan is short of the first down.
Yeah, but this guy's wide open right down the middle of the field. Watch as Brady rolls out here. Feely's going to come this way. The wingback goes right down the middle of the field. Would have been an easy touchdown. That's a great play by Phil Nash.
Michigan's gamble fails. Syracuse football, and the Orangemen have the football one more time here. We're still 12:42 to go in the first half. And Syracuse's defense, the most surprising element in this game so far, shutting Michigan's offense out. Here's the blitz. McIntosh cuts away from the blitz package and makes his way to the 18-yard line. So Michigan decided to send a backer after the run. Patman finally making the stop.
That really was a nice job of McIntosh staring down the gun barrel there, and the linebacker coming and got right by him for a short gain. Yeah, you might expect Syracuse, if they continue to have problems with the center exchange, to maybe use more shotgun.
3 wideouts. All the speed is off to the quarterback's left. Johnson Johnson is the slot man. McNabb and Johnson dropped the pass. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Ford Taurus. Ford, built to last. Solomon Smith Barney, let's get to work. Success is earned. Burger King, if you ask us, it just tastes better. And Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better.
You go back to that opening drive when they had such perfect balance, 39 yards on the ground, 39 in the air, and then the touchdown. Last couple of times the Orangemen have had the ball, you've seen them not execute as they did on that first time out.
Third down. Syracuse needs 5. Conrad's the fullback. McNabb slides right, in trouble. Quickly goes back. It's a backside block. Look at the dangerous one move. And out of bounds at the 26-yard line, a first down, making something out of nothing.
What part of this play do you not enjoy? He's really sure to get the snap from center, so he's a little bit late. D. Brown with a great block there, number 6. But then you just got to watch the athletic ability of McNabb here, surveying the field, looking for a receiver, and then seeing he still needs 5 yards for that first down.
D. Brown, 206 pounds, buried Josh Williams, 279 pounds on that. Now it is a first down. Number 44, the most famous number in Syracuse, is the fullback, the lone running back. That wing bone look. And here he comes, Conrad, the first fullback to ever wear. Number 44 explodes. Solomon Smith Barney, remember.
I bet you wore 39 at Syracuse too, huh?
Good guess. You didn't see that in the truck earlier, did you? Zonka wore 39. So Conrad wearing number 44, that fullback spot. And here comes Brown, slashes back, nears midfield, and Syracuse starting to cut them up again. Jordan making the stop, and now things seem to have calmed down between center and quarterback for Syracuse.
And the key play that got Syracuse back their confidence was that wonderful scramble by McNabb. They went with the option look and hit Conrad right up the middle. This time they come back with the more conventional two-back look and run the power right at Michigan.
So Alexander, the redshirt freshman, seemingly more comfortable. Michigan with a nose man and an odd front right on him to see if they can rattle him. McNabb gets a backside block under pressure, floats one complete to Conrad. Out of bounds in Michigan territory inside the 40-yard line. How calm McNabb is in the pocket. Let's go down now to Jack.
When you compete at the highest level, the errors get even more magnified.
Isn't that the truth? Sedano, the fullback, gets his first carry right straight ahead. And the offensive front for Syracuse blowing open big holes right now.
Now, they're certainly not off to a slow start today. This is as good as they could expect, and you've got to respect their scheduling, too. They open up with Tennessee, and then they've got to go on the road and play Michigan.
Second down and 4. Conrad returns. Daniel, Spotwood, Jackson, and Johnson on the wing. 4 good receivers. They pound straight ahead for not much of a gain that time. So there are the Conrads, Bob and Betty. They'll have to travel to a city to watch him play next year on a Sunday. Rob is going to be one of the high picks in the next NFL draft. Scouts love this young man. And
a big part of their affection for Conrad is the way he catches the ball out of the backfield. The great hands, soft hands, and of course the running and the blocking is there as well.
Looking at a third down and 3. McNabb down the middle. Got it. First down. Berlinski's second reception.
Paul Pasqualoni told us that the pro scouts are looking, obviously, at Donovan McNabb, and what they're looking at from him is the quarterback of the future in the NFL. We've seen his athletic ability, but that was what they want to see as well. How does he hang in the pocket and throw the bullet over the middle?
Sedano, the fullback. This is D. Brown. Wolverines stop him at the 20-yard line. So remember the Aflac question for you Michigan fans. This was easy, right? There they are, the 3 Michigan players to win the Heisman. Tom Harmon back in 1940, then of course Desmond Howard, and a year ago the playmaker on defense, Charles Woodson. A great punt return against Ohio State. 7:53 to go. Michigan needing a stop. 2nd down and 4. McIntosh couldn't slide for the 1st down. Stopped at the 20-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down for Syracuse.
This is tough for Michigan because you don't know whether to come up and try to blitz all out against McNabb because of his ability to run the option, but also if you're blitzing safeties and linebackers, then you're exposing your corners to these very talented wide receivers.
Darrell Daniel brings the play in from Pasqualoni's sideline. He'll be out to the right. That'll put Johnson in the slot. They're using Spotwood alone, and Whitley is soft on him toward the bottom. Now they tighten up on Daniel. They roll short side. McNabb looking for daylight, dives for the 1st down. And he's got it. Fine athletic move by Donovan McNabb. The experience of knowing where he had to go.
Boy, and the heads go down on the Michigan sideline. They see this wonderful athlete make that play, knowing what he needed for the 1st down. They thought they could stop him. This is a demoralized football team we're looking at here.
Syracuse needing was 15 yards for another touchdown. Jim Herman, the assistant coach of the year a year ago. And in these 2 games, they haven't looked anything like Michigan's defense, and they returned 9 starters. There were some injuries here today. So we're going to have a timeout call. 6.5 minutes remaining in the 1st half. It is all Syracuse so far. About the Syracuse offense, but their defense has held Michigan to 38 yards in this game, and they've got 245 already.
It's been field position. They've had them backed up the entire 1st quarter and now most of the 2nd quarter. But their defense has played a lot better than they did last week against Tennessee. Tennessee's a great offense. I'm not sure that Michigan on offense has quite found their identity yet.
Very good point. Young players. 1st down now for Syracuse. Great defensive stop that time by the Wolverines. They were ready for McIntosh with Tommy Hendricks making the stop right in the hole. And this will probably force McNabb to throw it on 2nd down, but with him you never know. You do not want to be guessing. There are so many options for Syracuse to go to in this situation.
Now this is what you were talking about, Brent. 38 yards total for Michigan, and the balance we talked about for Syracuse, there it is.
So here is 2nd down and a dozen for McNabb in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers and Conrad alongside. Stopped in the middle, dances back outside, looks for somebody to come free, and now he'll take it. Breaks a tackle at the 10, 5, touchdown, Syracuse! And there is a very proud father over there as his son takes it into the end zone with 1 shoe, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. A shoe came flying on that play, and we will check and see.
It was his, Brent. No question. Even with just 1 shoe on, McNabb with an incredible play for the score.
There it is. the extra point. And scoreboard mounts to 24-0 here in the first half. I believe so,
Mighty fun.
It really is. For Michigan, this is a nightmare. Here's Fargus from the 6. Looking for something positive, and Fargus tries to break free. Tripped up and down at the 32-yard line. And let's go to John Saunders in New York. John 10 and Henson still in the game. Goes empty. Michigan needs points, and they need him in a hurry. Here comes the man with a golden arm. Going deep. Straight's bump fly. They called it incidental contact. No flag on that far side. Ian McIntosh, Kyle's younger brother, the running back. He was bumping the wide receiver as they went down. They both hit each other, and there was no penalty.
Again, the ball was so far overthrown that there was no way the Streets would have been able to make a play on it. Henson is pumped up, to say the least. We've seen his last 2 balls really sail on him.
Carr and Michigan down 24-0. Slashing through is Thomas. Remember, Clarence Williams was injured on the kickoff as Stan Gibbs from Orange, New Jersey makes the stop. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, another reminder. September 22nd, ABC Premiere Tuesday. The Hughleys. You can't wait, I'll bet. I'll bet you've been waiting all summer for the Hughleys. Haven't I? Tell me the truth.
You know the greatest Hughley of all time?
Who's the greatest Hughley?
Hughley McElhaney.
Oh, yeah.
For the University of Washington and, of course, the 49ers.
I like that one. 3rd down and 10. Blitz, backside, got him. Incomplete. It was Jason Poles, the strong safety, from the blind side, and now a penalty flag thrown.
It's a celebration penalty on Poles. He drew attention to himself after the sack, and the official threw the flag on him. Something they're trying to crack down on in the NCAA.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike, celebration on a defense, 15-yard penalty.
First of all, here comes the blitz. Number 7 on number 7. And the guy in blue never sees the guy in white. That's a nice play by Henson to get rid of the ball, but then this is why he got the penalty. He's not celebrating with his team. He is drawing attention to himself, going just a little bit crazy there. I'm not sure I agree with that type of rule against Poles. I think these kids ought to be able to celebrate a little bit.
And Michigan, with its 2nd first down, Brady replaces Henson, who was shaken up. And instead of punting, it's a fresh set of downs for the Wolverines, and Brady, with an open man, Tice streets at midfield.
You know, one reason Henson is probably out of the game is because he missed that safety blitz. Normally in any passing offense, the quarterback is responsible, along with the wide receivers, for the safety blitz. If the safety comes, then you throw the blitz or sight adjustment. He got a pretty good lick from Poles, but I expect him to be back in the game soon.
Michigan looking at a 2nd and 3. Before the snap. Syracuse indicating they were pulled across the line by movement. The Wolverine offensive line. There is a fine.
Prior to the snap, the illegal snap by the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
I was going to say that Michigan does have one fine tackle on the right side. John Jansen, 6'7", 299. There is the big fella working on his agility. Inside of 4 minutes. Long 2nd down, 9 yards to go. First down, Tooman across the 40 and battles to the 36-yard line. So Jeremy Tooman, who caught only 2 balls, one of them for a touchdown, gets into the offense, and very hard to bring down.
Well, if you're asking yourself, how does Michigan get back in the game? Well, you got to go to your good players, and Tooman is better than good. Great route that time, and that was really a fine throw by Brady. And a lot of pressure, hung in there tough, and again, you see where that ball hit the receiver.
Knight and Streets wide out to the left. Jackson is offset behind Tooman. Brady in a passing formation comes underneath Jackson, and he threw too far behind him. Jackson, though, feels that he should have caught the ball, and it will be 2nd down and 10. Reminder that coming up at half, the Valvoline halftime report. John Saunders and Todd Blackledge will have scores and highlights. They'll get you up to date on UCLA doing it again behind Cade McNown.
Well, if it was Route 66 last year, we're going to check out another highway maybe. They may be going for this Interstate 94 down here.
Dan, 6 freshmen from Michigan trotted on the field at South Bend, and 3 of them on the field right now. Terrell, Walker, and Fargus, who just went in motion. Brady sets the screen underneath to Jackson. Jackson with an alley. 1st down, Michigan.
Now they use both these wide receiver freshmen to come down in here to attract the defense and throw the screen to the outside. There's number 1, Terrell, and then Jackson. And the hustling Wolverines now have got a 1st down.
Anthony Thomas now spread out to the left, and Jackson in the backfield. And Brady fires, wants Knight, overthrew him. Penalty flag, though, is thrown on the play. David Bird, the nickel man.
They were tangled up pretty good down there, and they're going to get Bird, number 22, for the pass interference. Two key penalties on this drive for Syracuse. The celebration foul, and now on the slot you see the right hand of David Bird on Knight. And that's enough to cause him to lose momentum on his route and get the call.
15-yard penalty and an automatic 1st. Michigan trailing by 24, needs points quickly. 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining here in the 1st half. And Carr's Wolverines trying to punch one in before the intermission. Clarence Williams shaken up. So Anthony Thomas carrying the load, and there's the penalty flag. Going to go against Michigan. Big mistake down here going in, and they were inside the 10-yard line.
Prior to snap, ball start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Well, you just don't expect that out of an offense. With Brady got up to the line of scrimmage, he turned around to change the play or to get one of his backs in a different alignment, and the one of the linemen jumped off sides.
That was Seaman. Anthony Thomas back inside the 10-yard line. Keith Bullock making still another stop. Keith Bullock, number 33, has been a standout middle linebacker here so far today, making a lot of stops for the Orange.
When you play a 4-3, you've got to have a middle linebacker that has a number of different skills. Plug the hole as he did that time. But what I like about him is he can run sideline to sideline.
Anthony Thomas, 25 yards rushing. Jackson also on the field for them. Brady hands to Jackson, and he's down at the 6-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from there, with Greenwood making the stop.
Did you notice how at that time Nash and Poles and Bullock were all crowding the weak side, the left side, and that was where Michigan ran the ball.
Here is 3rd down for Michigan. Field goal doesn't do them much good, trailing by 24. So they've got 2 downs, you would think, to stick it in the end zone. So Brady will come over. He will talk about it. We'll remind you about some upcoming shows. Out by Syracuse, 24-0, and it's the start of a college football doubleheader on ABC. Up the road at East Lansing, able to go out for the coin flip tonight. He's just a fine young man, and it's such a shame. And Amp, all of us wishing you nothing but the best.
You're here.
3rd down and 6. Here's Brady with a split back look, going to fire end zone, almost intercepted at the goal line, and that was Poles again. You know, Syracuse lost 2 defensive backs in the first round in the last NFL draft, and you would think that they would be very weak in that department, but they are not.
Well, here the quarterback Brady's trying to hit the tight end here, and there's going to be 2 orange helmets right on the tight end. That's not reading the defense. That's forcing the ball.
Here's the 4th down. Again, as I said, trailing by 24. You need more than a field goal. Syracuse has answered everything so far defensively. They've got him. Brady's down. Almost beating the snap count. Dwight Freeney from Bloomfield, Connecticut. A blue chip recruit, a freshman. Played 4 years of basketball, baseball, also lettered in soccer. You're looking at one of the fine ones.
And again, there's Bullock in there. They're crowding the middle of the line against Michigan. Nash, number 10, is in there as well. And Freeney comes free and makes the big play. But too much quickness up front from the Orangemen for Michigan to handle.
145, and the Orangemen who came, and I saw a lot of their students, and of course we've seen the parents here today. They love coming to the big house in Ann Arbor, one of the great settings in college football, and they are thoroughly enjoying this one after losing that heartbreaker at home to Tennessee. Now McNabb in a run out the clock mode, his big fullback, number 44. Rob Conrad pounds out to the middle, and a minute and a half to go now. And you take a look at the yardage that Syracuse has rolled up. 259 yards here in the first half, and that puts them over 260, Dan.
And Michigan's not giving up, though, on this first half. They see the field position is in their favor, so they're going to use their first of their 3 timeouts here with a minute and a half to go.
Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, you know, Syracuse, we've talked about it all during the first half. Their massive offensive game plan, the schemes that they have. Well, for one player, the coaches say it's perfect. That player's name, Donovan McNabb. And I remember when we were talking to him, they said, well, why? He said, well, one great thing after you've been part of the program for so many years and a senior like McNabb, the size and the complexity of our playbook ensures that he will never, ever get bored.
Yeah, Jack, and you know, and Dan, you can relate to this. A veteran quarterback is so important. Here's a
have nothing in their reservoir. This is going to hurt Michigan as well. This is Copenhaver. Now remember, Sam Sword is hurting. Eric Brackens, who replaced him to start the game, is hurting in the linebacker corps as well.
A minute and a half for McNabb to protect the football, run out the clock, and take that 24-0 lead into the locker room. The options are good as play as any. He'll just keep it and go down at the 12-yard line. He'd like to make a first down here to deny Michigan the opportunity for one more play. Fazell with the stop for the Wolverines.
But there's that experience of McNabb. I mean, there's no way in heck that he was going to lateral that ball. He was going to maybe fake it, but he was going to carry that all the way. Carried it in his left hand away from the tacklers, got down, did not go out of bounds, forced Michigan to use another timeout. But his experience told him, we're in a dangerous part of the field here. We can't afford a turnover.
Looking out at 3rd and 5, and there's a man who's done a fine job. The Syracuse football program, Paul Pasqualone, 4-1 in bowl games. He's just trying to figure out how to start a season on a good note. That's the only problem the man's got. First half, and Syracuse hasn't punted. It's amazing. And Syracuse, member of the Big East, so it'll be Rutgers. Then they go down to North Carolina State, and that could be a little bit tougher than they might have thought a few weeks back, judging what we were hearing against the Seminoles. And they'll have a big one down at West Virginia. Most of their games are played on a carpet. The Carrier Dome, of course, in Syracuse, they play on artificial. This is one of the rare times, along with North Carolina State, when they'll be playing on grass. And then any better than the grass here in the big house, is it? 3rd down and 4. McIntosh is right behind Conrad. Big surprise here is the Syracuse defense. The job they have done. There's McNabb, option other way, down at the 6-yard line. Fizzell again. So Joaquin makes back-to-back fine plays, and that forces Syracuse to punt for the first time this half. And a timeout probably will be called here. Doug Duncan punted very well against Tennessee. Brought that snap down and had to hurry it with Whitley running up now to make the catch at the 42 and quickly goes out of bounds. 1:14 for the Wolverines to work with here. And I believe that Tom Brady will come back in. He will be the quarterback for Michigan. Remember, young Drew Henson took a blindside hit from a safety, did not read the blitz, and has not been back since then. Walker, the freshman, will go off to the left. Terrell down to the bottom. They're going to be 2 fine receivers here in Ann Arbor. Brady is going to fire out of the shotgun. He'll be looking at 4 wideouts, 3 of them to the right-hand side. Slides the ball underneath to Knight. Knight steps out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Clock stops, 1:08, and they're 27 yards away.
It's interesting the way the Wolverines line up. They put their 2 freshmen on the outside and then their more experienced wide receivers as the slot guys inside, where you have to be able to read the coverage a whole lot more than on the outside.
And that's exactly what they do here. Slot into the left of the experience. They cross. Brady fires back underneath. Knight dropped it. Knight simply did not get the handle on a well-thrown ball. He was concerned about catching it and getting back out of bounds to preserve time, and he was unable to hold on to the football. He had a 100-yard day last week against Notre Dame. He's the youngest of 15 children. He had a brother who was a defensive end on Alabama's '92 championship team. Here he is against Syracuse, 2nd down and 10 with 1:03 to go. Brady, a 50% passer today, looking for a scoring strike. Great catch. Ty Street's in the air. Inside the 10.
Ty Streets goes about 6'4", and he needed all of it that time to pull that one down.
No huddle. Inside of a minute, 55 seconds. Remember, they used their timeouts. Out of bounds by Knight that time inside the 5. They're at the 4-yard line here with a 2nd down and goal. They have 49 seconds to work with. Dan Fouts, I watched you perform miracles at San Diego in this situation. Now, what must a quarterback remember here with the timeout situation being what it is for Michigan and not having any left?
Well, as close as they are right now, he doesn't have to worry about anything except when he wants to throw the ball away, realize how small the field is, and he can just throw it high and into the back of the end zone. Don't force the ball here.
The tight end, Tuman, back on the field, is on the left side of the formation. They look back the other way. Got it! Straight! Touchdown, Michigan on the board. One first down. That's all Syracuse needed to run out the clock in the first half. But Michigan made the most of their timeouts. Whistle before Feely attempted the extra point. That was wonderful clock management by Michigan. Then Brady handled the situation well. They go 39 yards in only 5 plays. They use 28 seconds. That's the most impressive Michigan has been today.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Try will be from the 8-yard line.
And for the first time today, Brent, you're seeing the Orangemen with their hands on their hips. They're winded right now, and I think that their lack of a pass rush during that short drive really hurt them.
After the penalty, the extra point will be attempted from the 15, so it's a 25-yard extra point, and it's good. That's 1 for the Wolverines.
Brady on the three-step drop. I like this catch by Streets as he reached out and took it away from David Bird.
Syracuse with the good hands, people.
Yeah, they're expecting the onside kick, and what an excellent onside kick Feely executed last week against Notre Dame. It was a surprise then. It won't surprise Syracuse now.
I don't know how much field position you want to give Syracuse here with one timeout in 46 seconds, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'd kick it away, too.
Is this going to go out of bounds? Oh, my.
Yeah.
There's the penalty. What you didn't need in that situation.
Automatically.
Gives them field position coming out. They've got one timeout.
This is a killer kickoff. I mean, there's only one man back. Just kick him the ball. He's not going to have any blocking. The worst thing you can do is kick it out of bounds. And if you're starting to think about long field goals, we watched Nate Trout yesterday in practice hit from 53 yards away. To get Trout within 50 yards, they need to go 35 yards.
46 seconds, and content to sit on this unless they fool somebody. Taking a knee right here. You know, the way Paul's offense moved the ball, what do you think about this, Dan?
I always hate the kneel down play unless I'm doing it and we're ahead by 20. You know, 105 or 110, whatever, how many thousand people are here today, they don't even want to see Donovan McNabb kneel down.
That's going to do it. Syracuse will take a 24-7 lead over favored Michigan into the locker room. And Michigan opened the week as a double-digit favorite. But they didn't reckon with Donovan McNabb. 11 of 14, 127 yards, rushing for another 60. And his father, Samuel, screaming on for the side.
The ground as McIntosh dove, sold out completely to make the catch. But watch as the ball comes in here. Man, I tell you what, I think he had it because the referee that made the call was on the other side of McIntosh.
Terrible call.
That ball was
looking
intercepted.
right at the football. It's a terrible call. Second down and 10. And it is a scampering Anthony Thomas. Again, Clarence Williams was shaken up. We got a penalty flag thrown over there on the far side.
Brent, when McIntosh rolled over, he had his back and the ball away from the official who made the call.
Let's take a look at our Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half stats with Dan Fouts.
Well, it's all total yardage right here. But when you come down to the bottom here, this is the money down. Third down conversions. Not only is Michigan 0 for 6 on third down, on fourth down, they're 0 for 2. So Michigan having troubles with their defense stopping the Orangemen and their offense converting when it counts.
Now the penalty moves the ball back inside the 10-yard line. Now, our producer Bob Goodrich has come up with this replay. We see from that angle, but now
amazing call. The official could see that.
Down, and here is the running play. Fargus out of bounds, far side.
But the ball does hit the ground, and there it is, right there, between McIntosh's legs on the ground.
Not buying it. He already had possession. Third down and 8.
Nevertheless, third down and 8.
0 for 6. the third down conversions. Tom Brady trying to get one from the shotgun. Here comes the blitz pressure. Held it too long. Down he goes at the 6-yard line. There was too much trouble. Surrounded by white shirts. Jason Poles, who has been an outstanding safety here today in Ann Arbor, as we take a look at our storyline.
And now 0 for 7 on third down for Michigan. Donovan McNabb, these stats don't tell you Heisman Trophy.
Pressure on the punter, and he does get it off. Benson. Spotwood is back. And it is out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. 61 yards away for Donovan McNabb when we come back.
For Dodge Intrepid, we look beyond a great look.
The Syracuse sideline that Corey Bowen, their starting center, will not return for the game. So the redshirt freshman, Patrick Alexander, who got away from Bobby Bowden in Tallahassee, continues to be the center here for the veteran quarterback, Donovan McNabb. Wheels and brings the option. Late pitch. Got McIntosh. Short of the first down, but not before he's rushed for 7 or 8 yards on that play. Let's go to Jackaroo.
Well, Brett, not surprising. It was a very quiet, introspective Lloyd Carr in his locker room. But what he did tell his troops was, look, we've taken their best punch, and we're still standing. He pointed to the 7 points and said, we've got to do more than that. But amazingly, Paul Pasqualoni, well, not quite so amazingly, was certainly upset about the 7, but he warned his players about the fact that the next 3 or 4 series will either make or break their day. He wants to see him play tougher.
Well, it's not yet a first down. It is still second down. And Michigan stands tall on a 2nd and 2. Anthony Jordan.
I got a question. McIntosh, I know he saw a hole and turned it up into the middle, but at 180 pounds, he's running right into this strength of Michigan's defense. He might have wanted to bounce it outside and run for the chain.
Third down and a long yard for Syracuse. This would be a huge lift for Michigan if they can stop Syracuse here. Michigan swarms all over the running back. Going to be close. Real close. Michigan believes that they have held. And now Pasqualoni with a decision to make, and he doesn't hesitate as Doug Duncan, the senior punter from Hacienda Heights, California, trots onto the field.
It's good. It kind of goes back to what Jack said about he wants them to play tougher. Well, the play selection certainly was tougher. I'm not sure the play selection was better, trying to run 2 running plays right at Michigan.
Whitley, the corner, set to return, a high snap, but no pressure on the punter, and he's able to get it off and hang it up pretty good. They give him room, and Whitley makes the catch at the 19-yard line. Any pressure on Duncan that time, and the Wolverines might have had a block punt. Timeout. Comes out with a first down, and again, the Syracuse defense swarms all over Anthony Thomas, who with Clarence Williams out with an injury, Thomas has to carry the load, and Donald Dinkins from New Haven, Connecticut makes the stop.
And what Poles did with that 1 sack, that's the first sack this year for Syracuse, but they've had a lot of pressure on Brady and Henson. 1.
There is Jeremy. Ties streets. Tight to the line. Fargus, the running back, with the call. Fargus to the 21. Stood up, pushed back by you-know-who, number 33, Keith Bullock.
Did you see the way Bullock finished off the play? He drove the freshman's head right down into the turf here at the Big House. This is what it means to play middle linebacker. You make the tackle, and then you make the statement.
That's a New York City tackle right there.
In a minute.
0 for 7 on third downs, and look at it, number 8. Looks like we've got a timeout being called by Syracuse. They're going to go over with the defense. The third down now. Can Michigan convert? Brady going to go deep. No, incomplete, and that was 10. Phil Nash the other safety from Clearwater, Florida. I am amazed after having lost to Bucky Jones to the Patriots, Donovan Darius to the Jaguars, that this defensive backfield is playing as well as they are. It's remarkable.
But this is only a two-man pattern for Michigan. They're protecting the quarterback, but they're throwing into 6 defensive backs.
They'll catch Spotwood at the 41-yard line.
And not only that, both the receivers that they were throwing to were on the same side of the field. That's easy to play pass defense against that type of pass offense.
Pasqualone happy that 5 minutes has elapsed without Michigan threatening here. And Syracuse still leading 24-7. We've had 31 points scored. This was expected to be a high-scoring game, but Michigan has been throttled by the Syracuse defense, except for late in the first half on that slant pass.
And just as the first half started, Syracuse has good field position to start the second half.
And here they come again. McNabb eyes the defense. They put it up on first down. Complete. Spotwood. Very soft coverage. Forced out of bounds at the 49-yard line. And so Syracuse will take it. They gave it to him on that side with Andre Weathers far off.
Way off.
Amazing.
When Spotwood caught the ball, Weathers was still 7 yards away from him. So he catches a 4-yard pass, turns it into a 8-yard gain.
And that leaves you in 2nd and 2.
Math professor,
it's amazing,
too,
isn't it?
You're a double major.
2 wide outs. Out of the eye. McIntosh slips to the hole, and it's a first down. Syracuse across midfield. Sam Sword, who did not start the game, number 93 because of an injury, making the stop for the Wolverines. Michigan's linebackers with all kinds of problems here today, Dan.
Well, Sam Sword came into the game with a bad left leg. Eric Brackens got hurt in the first half of this ball game. We saw Clint Copenhaver be carted off. So Sword is out there playing his heart out, but he's not 100% healthy.
Johnson slotted right. Weathers goes over on Spotwood, and again he's about 8 yards off of him on the right side of the field. McNabb snaps it to Johnson, who is hit right away as he makes the reception. That for a short gain. Speaking of gains, let's send you to John Saunders in New York. John, and return. Struggling today for Coach Bowden. 2nd down. Michigan shows a blitz on him, and McNabb gets it into Johnson's hands again, and he burns it for a first down. That's a fine run by Kevin Johnson that time. That was powerful. They scored on that play, or one similar to it in the first half, and he powers his way around for a first down. That's really getting out of trouble. That's one thing you gotta like about this Syracuse offense. They come up with things when there appears to be nothing there.
And they have the perfect trigger man to have this offense revolve around. McNabb, very proficient at running the option, and we've seen what he can do when he gets in trouble back in the pocket. He's got it all.
Look at how calm he looks coming up to the line of scrimmage there as he eyes the linebacker, sees where the safeties are, sees that the corners are far off. They're showing a little tighter. Now Weathers backs away. McIntosh going nowhere because of Jordan.
It's almost as if McNabb is already a professional quarterback, the way he handles himself. He has so much experience. There's such a difference when you see his demeanor on the field. When you look at the Michigan players, they just seem so much younger and almost in awe. In fact, in the second half, when the captains came out, Marcus Ray hugged Donovan McNabb at midfield.
11 yards for the first here on 2nd down. Backing off just before the snap. Donovan, middle's open, but so too, and dropped. Almost intercepted. Had Weathers maintain concentration on that deflection, who knows, as Jeff Lowe, normally one of the most sure-handed receivers at Syracuse, lets one elude him.
He's a real Houdini in the backfield, too. Watch right here. This is Rob Renas, one of the better nose tackles in college football. And he's going to get in on the quarterback. Actually came from the other side, but McNabb very easily stepped away from him.
Almost a pick, wasn't it, by Weathers? 3rd down, And 11, Michigan needs a stop. 2 wides down toward the bottom of your screen. Johnsinger, slot man. McNabb drifts in that direction, comes back middle, got Johnson for the first down at the 25. That's a wonderful pass route that Kevin Johnson turned in. Got the first down, and he curled it off to the middle, and he was right there on the catch, Dan.
And when he caught the ball, he knew he had the first down, and he went down. A lot of times you'll see a receiver, after he makes his catch, try to get extra yardage. But he needed to get to the 24-yard line. He got to the 25 and down. Or rather, he needed to get to the 26.
Donovan McNabb driving the Orangemen again. Using the middle, but it was not soft that time. Michigan held as Renus. Dan mentioned he's a fine nose guard, a junior. Remember last year that Ohio State game, 5 solo tackles, a couple of tackles for a loss. Even got in and sacked the Buckeye quarterback in that huge win, which sent them on undefeated to the Rose Bowl. And there, Michigan, of course, throttled Ryan Leaf when they had to, and wound up co-national champion with Nebraska in Tom Osborne's final season. Here it is, 2nd down and 10. Syracuse leading Michigan 24-7, and Donovan McNabb standing tall as a Heisman Trophy candidate here today.
The numbers he's putting up so far put him to the top of that class.
They have to hurry now. It's down to 5. There it is. The play clock in the lower left. Got it off on 1. Going to sprint. Penalty flag is down on the play. Throw end zone. No. Incomplete. But a penalty marker is down as McNabb sprinted to the right.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Another Michigan mistake. They mount for Coach Carr. Cannot be happy. Thought they were ready to bounce back here today. Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, last winter, Donovan McNabb got a couple of free tickets and went to a ball game. It was a basketball game. And afterwards, he's talked to one of the NBA players, and he asked him, well, do you think I should stay in school? And he said, yeah, you should. Do you think I've got a shot at the Heisman? And this man shared all of his Heisman's memories. The name of that man, Charlie Ward. And Donovan says he gave him some very good advice.
Indeed. 2nd down and 4. Here's McNabb. Brings the option to the left side. There's the pitch. McIntosh alley and out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And another first down for the Orangemen. McNabb on the day is 14 of 18. You talk about his running ability, and we watched that wonderful run for a touchdown. 1 shoe on and 1 shoe off. But it is his throwing that also amazes you, the strength of his arm.
And he throws well from the pocket, but he's most dangerous when he's rushed hard and he has to improvise, get away from a couple of tacklers. There goes the shoe right there. That didn't hardly slow him down at all. But he has a big league arm. There's no question about that.
Late substitution for Syracuse, and that cost him a timeout. Mistake. The coaches were too slow getting the substitution package on the field, and it's costly, and the coach is not happy about this. Timeout. One game. Find a good one. First down and 10. Inside the 15-yard line from the wishbone. Here he is again, the Wizard, inside the 10.
You forget about McNabb's size. He's 6'3", 220, and you can see him pulling tacklers.
Again, Sam Sword playing with a gimpy left knee and limping a little bit back in. Brackens, who replaced him for a while, was forced out by an injury, and Sam's trying to hang tough out there and call the defensive plays. 2nd down and 6. This is a huge defensive series here for the Wolverines. 2nd down and 6. McNabb, the pocket, fires, touchdown. Johnson's 2nd of the day, rushed for 1, caught a touchdown pass for a 2nd. and it is 30-7.
And again, a Michigan player should have had McNabb in the backfield. Very easily danced out of the tackle, bought a little time, and found Johnson.
Nate Trout. I believe this is about the quietest I have ever heard the big house, and I've been here for a lot of football games. 4 years a starter, and he shows all that experience here today as Trout will kick it off. The day grows longer and the time more desperate for the Wolverines. Vargas, the freshman, neck tackled at the 25-yard line by Keith Bullock.
It's another one of those starters on special teams. Man, he went right after that freshman. Vargas is not going to like to see Keith Bullock. He's going to see him in his dreams. Only, yeah.
Of 19, Dan. And last week you said he was, what, 22 of 28 against Tennessee? Was that the number?
22 of 28 for 300 yards last week. He's having a better day today. Plus, he's winning.
31-7 he's winning. And now, Michigan, like last week, complete at the 45. Forced to play catch-up. Ty Streets. He caught the touchdown pass. Let's go to Jack Haru. Jack.
To throw to him. The quarterback's name, Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, they're good buddies. Played some basketball together back in that area. There's Marquise Walker, the young man from Syracuse. He broke Syracuse's heart when he came here as a freshman wide receiver. He was one of the most talented in the country. He saw that a fellow by the name of Drew Henson had signed on here at Michigan, and he said, why not? And Syracuse, of course, was trying hard to recruit him, so they lost out as here on the juggle. Streets finally hangs on at the 48-yard line. This will be 3rd and short coming up for Michigan.
Important now for Michigan, going with their no-huddle offense, down by 24 with 4 to go in the 3rd quarter. They have no choice.
Spread the field with 4 wideouts. Back toward the other freshman, but he overthrew Terrell. And if we have a chance, take a look at David Terrell as Brady looks back downfield. And here he is. He is 6'3". He's 189 pounds. He has been timed once in the 40 at 4.32, and he benches 275 pounds. And when you watch him in practice, you get the feeling that someday David Terrell is going to be a game breaker here at Michigan. 4th down and 3. Michigan's 0 for 2 on 4th down. And now it's 0 for 3. Syracuse plays with half a field, and here come the boos.
That just doesn't make any sense. 4th down and 3, and they're throwing a 20-yard pass down the field. And what you see here is a umbrella type of prevent defense. But here's the chain marker right here. They just need to get it right here to sustain this drive. But instead, it's a deep pass route into a bunch of orange pants and helmets.
McNabb's turn again. Conrad, the fullback. He can work away on that clock. But McNabb rolls it out, waits for somebody in pressure, fires hard to Spotwood, and Spotwood extends to the 49-yard line.
When you're hot, you're hot. You know, the one thing they always tell quarterbacks is that when you're rolling out and you're under pressure, don't ever throw late across the middle. When you're hot, and Donovan McNabb is on fire. Everything he's throwing up there is sticking to his guys.
There are the numbers for the season. And folks, he has not been playing chopped liver. We're talking Tennessee and Michigan football that this young man's been looking at. Huh? Let's get a computer to rate the Heisman Trophy candidate's strength of schedule.
Please set the clock at 3:35. 3:35.
And most importantly for Coach Pasqualone, Donovan McNabb has not thrown an interception. It was a fumble by the normally reliable Rob Conrad.
You know, he's only thrown 21 interceptions in his career at Syracuse. That's a pretty phenomenal number for having played as much as he has.
Second down and 7 for the Orange. In trouble, gonna step away from it, into the pocket, fired downfield, got him! At the 12-yard line, it's Kevin Johnson again.
You know, Brent, you said he was in trouble. I don't think he thinks he's in trouble. I think he's got him right where he wants him. Come on, rush me with as many guys as you can. You can't catch me. He is the Barry Sanders of quarterbacks. Watch the moves in the pocket. Little pressure there, sidesteps, head is up, looking down the field, and then an incredible throw on the run as he was moving forward, right to his receiver, Johnson, for another big, big play.
I think I'll take him with me to St. Louis and see if Dick Vermeil can see if he gets the Vikings after that 37-yarder.
I just want to be his agent.
Yeah, that'd be the best job. First down at 10. And this is Munro. Breaks away. Touchdown. Hold on now. There's a penalty flag. Hold on. We've got a penalty flag.
This is going to be holding or illegal block against Syracuse. One of the wide receivers. That's how Munro got to the outside and got into the end zone so easily.
Munro, redshirt freshman, getting playing time. That's how good it's going for Syracuse here.
Illegal block in the back.
Yeah, there it is. That's Darrell Daniel, the wide receiver, pushing off. And Munro hauled it into the end zone, and heartbreak for the young man. As the ball comes back, he said, oh, I do all that great work, dash into the end zone.
His first college carry in the big house against Michigan. Oh,
I got the biggest crowd in history watching me, and they take it back to the 19-yard line with 2:44 to go in the third quarter in Syracuse. Banging away, 31-7. Syracuse holding up its end of the bargain, but Michigan not firing back today.
Oh, God!
Screen. Conrad breaks the tackle. Look out, the big guy inside the 10. And that was Jordan who probably saved a touchdown on that play.
And James Hall, who couldn't quite bring down the big fullback. Hall goes about 250, so does Conrad. It's a pretty good matchup, but you see how Conrad catches the ball with his hands on that screen. He's having fun.
That's one of the reasons why the scouts like him so much, is it possesses wonderful hands for his size, so he can slide out, make the big catch for you. Second down and 7 for Syracuse. Munro, fake it to him. There's a block throw open, and Conrad's second touchdown. Betty and Bob Conrad. This is an offensive clinic. And it leaves a head coach talking to himself. Well, on the other side, a celebration. And this man puts him right back in the thick of the championship race by winning this game. Syracuse now stays very much alive with this football team. Trout adds the extra point. So Conrad.
The fake to Munro, but look, nobody is going with the fullback. They are so confused. Look at how open, again, a 250-pound fullback can get.
Now, he talked about this in his own words when we asked him about a full
needed to get in the end zone.
Justin Fargas awaits the kick. Coming out. 15. Trying to avoid 33. Down at the 21-yard line. Bullock didn't catch up with him that time, and we sent you to New York. And Henson, number 7, back in as the Michigan quarterback. So the freshman tries it again here. Almost intercepted by Jason Bowles. He sent him out of the game the first time with a blindside blitz and crushed him. This time he almost picked him from the other side. Now, we heard about UCLA from John Saunders. And we know you saw that score. Cade McNown has thrown for 260 yards, and here McNabb for 210 yards. Michigan's defense should be tougher than Texas. I don't know how much they've improved. Now it's Henson, and they tried to crush him again, and he drops it off to the fullback that time, Ray Jackson.
And for you numerologists, UCLA beat Texas last year 66-3. Well, if you add up the 42 and 24, still on that Route 66, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
But you know, you didn't see what McNown had done on the had gained on the ground, so my nod still goes to McNabb, totally in control, just having a wonderful start to his senior year.
From the shotgun, Henson. The pocket holds for him, comes to the middle low. One bounce to Marquise Walker, and a bad-looking throw by the freshman that time.
He just had him so wide open, he tried to guide the ball in, and he overstride on the ball. When you do that, the ball will go right down in the ground.
Benson with Spotwood back deep. Booms one, drives Spotwood back inside the 30-yard line. The quick one gets a crushing block. And out of bounds, Michigan receives a penalty for pushing Spotwood after he was out of bounds on that far side. I believe this is going to be roughing the return man. There was no flag on that block that I saw, Dan.
No, the block was clean. This is a frustration penalty on Michigan. Personal foul, clearly way out of bounds over there. But that's what happens when you are handed a 31-point deficit right now.
Dead ball, personal foul on a kicking team, 15-yard penalty.
Watch, there was the block, which was legal. Now stay with Spotwood as he goes out of bounds, and there's 2 or 3 fellows over there. So we still have time. Fumble again, picks it up. Well, we found his weakness.
Yeah, he can't take a snap from center. I tell you what, they got to get him out of the game and sit him down on the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
4 times today. That's the only bad thing he's doing.
There's Bowen, the original center, out with a knee injury. And the total yards in this game is remarkable. 380 for Syracuse and Michigan 153. Michigan was pounded last week by Notre Dame. Final 10 seconds of the third quarter. McNabb sprinting. Throws complete and out of bounds at the 42, short of the first down as we come to the end of the third. ABC's presentation will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. 96, 107, 608 for Tennessee and Florida, and Syracuse is spoiling a very big party. Donovan McNabb and Conrad dropped it as he turned downfield. Bragging about the big fullback, Rob. Bobbles that one. We've had 45 points scored here today. Figured to be high scoring, but didn't figure that one team would do all of it, especially a double-digit underdog, as Syracuse was early in the week.
And against a defense that returned 9 starters from a year ago.
Whitley back at the 8-yard line, where Michigan will put it in play again. And it looks like a penalty flag. Syracuse holding up on the far side.
Holding on a return team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
So Henson will start off inside the 10-yard line. And again, we can watch the young man who was Baseball America's High School Player of the Year and drafted in the 3rd round by the New York Yankees. And if he had said that he was going to be a baseball rather than a football player, he would have been drafted way before that in the 1st round. And here is number 7, longtime Michigan fan, grew up very close. Brighton, Michigan, used to come to the big house and watch the Wolverines. And he'll get some snaps here and some valuable experience, handing it off to Walter Cross, making his first appearance, and Cross runs to the 18-yard line for the Wolverines. So this is some valuable playing time for Drew Henson, who is a freshman. He just needs some reps now.
And we saw him in the first half. In the second quarter, he came in and didn't read the safety blitz by Jason Bowles. Got drilled in the back as he threw the ball away, but the coaches immediately took him out of the game and talked to him about the importance of knowing where those safeties are.
Cross sprints right, cuts back, down at the 25-yard line. Walter Cross, one of those freshmen. He's out of Fort Washington, Maryland, 5'11", 196. There's Tom Brady's afternoon.
Never quite got into a rhythm as their entire offense did.
Cross stopped. Cold at the 24-yard line. This will be 3rd down and short. Brian Coleman, the right tackle, number 78, the senior. He moved from nose guard over to that tackle spot. One-time outstanding high school wrestler. He wrestled the running back down that time. Yeah, 3rd down.
That really did look like a wrestling move. The one thing the Wolverines have got to wrestle with is how they're doing on 3rd down. Remember, Mike DeBoard wanted 45% 3rd down conversion. 0 for 10.
3rd down. For 11.
And Henson just looked totally unsure of where he was supposed to throw the ball that time.
Michigan sends its punter onto the field. Jason Benson, the senior from Troy, Michigan. Syracuse has brought some heat. Back off and take the football, work away against the clock. Quentin Spotwood, number 8, signals for the fair catch, makes a good signal at the 32-yard line, and that's where they will have it, leading 38-7 with 13:05 remaining in the championship game. Bobby Bowden in Florida State derailed. Now, I think you can get there with 1 loss. Going to be very, very hard, but I think it's impossible with 2. 1st down and 10 for Syracuse. They get back on track. And working against the clock as Monroe again sprints free. Midfield. Across the 45 and a penalty flag down again. Don't tell me the young man is going to lose another tremendous run here.
He lost a touchdown earlier on an illegal block and a big run this time.
So Donovan McNabb, still quarterbacking, talked about his NFL hero. Here's what he had to say.
Well, Warren Moon. You know, I look at a Warren Moon and, you know, I sort of think about, you know, desire. I sort of think about courage. And then I began to think about heart. Because here's a guy who was not drafted, a guy who people said he would not be on that level. But being on that level for some odd years and being at the age he's at right now, I think he really summarized, you know, if you have your mindset on anything that you want to do in life, you can achieve it by working hard.
And a good role model, Warren Moon. I like the way he stuck to his guns this year, holding out of camp and getting a salary he felt was fair.
Well, McNabb will get a chance on Sunday, rifling one just short of the first down. That was Darrell Daniel pulling in the pass, and James Whitley, the corner on that side from Michigan.
And then all Warren Moon did on his first regular season game is go out and win 38-0. So he's still got it, and a good role model for young Donovan McNabb.
I don't want my friends at Eastern Michigan to take this wrong. I'm sure they will, but Michigan can't wait for next week. After the Irish and the Orangemen. Oh, my.
It's not been a good September for many teams from Michigan. I'm thinking of two.
Second down. Mungrove breaks it again. Any flags? Look around. Any yellow? I don't see any. That one counts, young man. First down. Nice run. Of course, at the end of the game, we'll select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game for each team, or I should say for Michigan. Donovan McNabb has one side locked up, and in recognition of these athletes, Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund. I always let Dan, my partner, choose from the other team. I like to make it equal.
I'd give it to Donovan McNabb for Michigan, too. What the heck?
First down and 10.
I'm sure no Michigan player would argue with it.
No, certainly wouldn't. Mungrove to the 46-yard line. It'll be second down and long coming up. It's hard to believe that North Carolina State has held Florida State to 7 points today. And Michigan here has been held to 7. But that one surprises me even more because I didn't realize that North Carolina State was that good this year as they apparently are.
Well, I've thrown 5 interceptions in a game, and what I always do after that 5th interception is I take myself out of the game with a pulled hamstring and wish I had done it before the 5th one.
Second down. Monroe slashes across midfield. Pretty good looking young runner, isn't he?
Well, we'll update the coordinator's goals. This is Kevin Rogers' goals, and this number here is all McNabb. And down here, this part about kicking the ball over the 30, the field position has been all Syracuse today. Of course, they haven't had to punt very often. They have scored, and they have kicked to score every time almost they've had the ball.
Make it 3rd and 5. McNabb faces a blitz, backs it up, it's picked up, fires high, incomplete. Good coverage by Todd Howard, another of the freshmen over there on the corner.
And if we update the defensive coordinator, Jim Herman's goals, this one I thought was a little bit unrealistic, 13 points. In fact, Syracuse had 14 points against Michigan in the first 6 minutes and 32 seconds of the game.
Here's 4th and 5, and Syracuse will punt it away. Whitley waits for it. High punt. Hang time. Whitley's got an alley on the left. A lot of daylight. Slam down at the 21-yard line. Still 9:42 to go. 38-7. Syracuse over Michigan. Probably, John, their second loss in the ACC. I can remember a couple years ago. Before done, they came up short in a Thursday night game at home. Not too many. Virginia stopping them in that game. And I think this might be their only other loss since joining the conference. That was Walter Cross, and let's check in with Jackaroo.
Hello, everyone in Syracuse.
Second down, Cross on a cutback to the 29-yard line. There's Bullock. An impressive performance by the Orangemen here this afternoon on both sides of the ball. The defense has surprised me.
Yeah, the defense has been a lot quicker than Michigan's offense.
Well, here comes that 0 for 11 statistic on 3rd downs.
And where they 0 for 3 on 4th down, so they're 0 for 14 on what a lot of coaches like to call the money down. Cross. There's their first down, and he
breaks free. He could go all the way. No, he's down at the 5, 71 yards. Speaking of the money ball.
The fastest man on the field. He kept the money ball for himself. David Bird runs him down from behind. Good play, though, by Mr. Cross right up the middle. Syracuse blitzing, crowding the line of scrimmage, gets between the safeties. And where does Bird come from? There he is. And that's the kind of day it's been for Michigan.
Cross vaults to the 2.
He looked like he was taking off on a triple jump or something. He started vaulting a little bit too early.
Like this young man, Stan Gibbs.
I think Cross may be tired, Coach. I mean, you know, he just ran the length of the field. Is there anybody else that can run the ball?
Well, Texas a little more respectable this year. 49-31. Bruins win it. And second down and goal. Cross keeps battling. Stopped just short of the goal line. It'll be third and short. Jason Poles. Poles, Bullock, Nash played some fine football games on defense today. And of course, time permitting, the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report with John Saunders and Todd Blackledge.
There's a guy that's played pretty hard today, Jason Poles. I think what happened on this play is Cross lowered his head right into Poles' midsection and knocked the wind out of him.
Michigan. Walter Cross, who carried it down, deserved to get the touchdown.
And he ought to go and congratulate his quarterback for getting out of a bad play. Looked like he changed the play at the line of scrimmage, saw that Syracuse was crowding the middle again, and went with the off-tackle play, and Cross walked in.
It was Michigan's freshman backfield doing the job that time with Hinkson, Cross, and the fullback all the way was Coleman. The extra point is added. To be a game in which the winner would come from the last team to handle the football, and it was Tennessee that day. Up short on the kickoff, expecting the onside, and Johnson, who's had a big day, picks it up. He's got to take off. He was short of the end zone, and he's smothered at the 8-yard line. Kevin, I think for a moment thought he was inside the end zone and he could take it down for a touchback. Big smile on his face. And reminder, Sunday, Monday night, all that pressure on him for the Redskins. And this is D. Brown, the sophomore running back. He saw that young man make a pretty good name for himself, that James Mungro, and D wants to come in there and do a job. I got a moment. I want to thank our producer, Bob Goodrich. Another outstanding job. Nice to have Bob back on college football this year. And our director, Drew Esikoff. No one does it better than Goodrich and Esikoff. And Fred King, we welcome him as our AP here today. Pretty nice to have you along. Good replays, lads. Second down and 4. Brown stopped for a loss. Jackaroo, what do you got, my friend? Congratulations to the Pasqualones. Third down. Complete in a crowd. That's a heck of a catch down in there by Pat Woodcock that time.
And if it's a boy, I've got the perfect first name.
Yes?
Donovan.
Oh, why we were both thinking alike on that one.
I'm not sure it works, but it certainly has worked the first part of this season.
This is going to be a tough football team to deal with, my friend.
They're unstoppable on offense. If they could have just handled the center snap. The only problem they had all day was a couple of center snap problems. But with the McNabb and these receivers and the running backs and the way they use their personnel, just perfect.
Carrier Dome will be rocking. Mungro, huh? Back. He runs with a little verve. I like the spirit that he brings to the attack. Of course, the Carrier Dome, our friend Jim Boeheim. I think he and his wife had a child recently. I think I saw that, and congratulations to the Boeheims. He's done a great job up there with the basketball program at Syracuse. Terrific sports city in Syracuse, and I know they're so proud of this man, Donovan McNabb, and the entire football program. They'd love to see this team get on a roll in the Big East. And national start to jump up 1-1. Slashing for a first down. Mungro just keeps moving downfield. Had a touchdown call back on his first carry because of a penalty flag. He will not forget that moment. Conrad takes the day off. How about our two assistants? The Z-Man and the Y-Man, Kaliski and Malloy. They give you everything you needed for this game, all the stats, all the media guides and everything?
Well, the media guide cost me $20, but other than that,
welcome to Michigan.
Job.
Okay.
400 pages, $20 for a media guide. Unbelievable. They may be on sale after this one, though.
First down, they do sell them over at the place called the Michigan Den. And the young man certainly deserves some time off. He burned Michigan early. Coverage mistake, and Conrad into the end zone for his first touchdown. Good balance.
Yeah, really not showing any ill effects of his knee injury from last year. Looks good.
Big smile on his face. It's something coming into the big house and manhandling Michigan like this. I mean, you know, for a lot of these youngsters from Syracuse, they've never seen anything like this. 111,000, the largest crowd to ever watch a college football game on campus, and they spoiled the party. It's nothing but congratulations to the Orangemen today.
And to play in front of twice as many people as they're used to, that's got to be quite a sensation.
Took the crowd out early, didn't they, Dan?
The crowd never got a chance to show up. You score 14 points in the first 6.5 minutes of the ball game, and there was no stopping the Orange. He can throw every type of pass possible.
Donovan said I should say to you, what do you want to get me killed? and the freshman here at Michigan hits in third down. A count from behind. Down goes the young quarterback. Those are the things that McNabb felt all game long as McCall, the sophomore defensive back, closes in on Williams. But McNabb, he would have flipped the ball. He feels pressure like that after all those years of experience, or steps away from it.
Yeah, and has better vision down the field. Williams had a couple of guys there that time, but he'll learn. He's got a great guy to watch from the sidelines.
In the final 2 minutes. Whitley waits the punt. And if you're going to give out honors today, you cannot forget this Syracuse defense. They have really held up. And we felt coming into the game, that was the big question. As Whitley comes, his alley to the left, sealed off. Nice return. Crosses midfield. 1:30 to go. We'll come back and we'll wrap this baby on that Syracuse sideline. Donovan McNabb closes out with a big win in the big house. And Florida State apparently going to lose to North Carolina State. And this is a huge win in here for Paul Pasqualoni. This is his 8th year at Syracuse. And he is 4-1 in bowls. Overall now with this win, Pasqualoni goes 61-23-1. He was a walk-on for Joe Paterno at Penn State. Became an assistant coach. And now the head coach at Syracuse as Henson fires over the middle, and out of bounds goes Kevin Bryant, the junior receiver from Farmington Hills, Michigan. You know, when you think about the polls with Florida State losing, it'll be Nebraska or Florida moving up into that #2 position. Ohio State figures to hold serve. They were very impressive, I thought, last week against West Virginia in what was a trap game for them, and they had no trouble at all down there.
And we'll see how far up UCLA moves after their big win over Texas.
Henson This time he's got the open man, Johnson. That's his first catch of the game, I believe, down to the 12-yard line. Gallo Johnson from right here in Detroit. So maybe Hinson's going to stick another one in. Now, what do you think about this young man's throwing motion here, Dan, that we're looking at?
He's very quick. He's got a good compact motion, and the ball seems to carry to the receiver well.
That's the Syracuse 12.
Rob's getting the right personnel on the field, though.
He's 4 of 11 here today for 44, and let's take a timeout. Coming back now with Drew Hinson on 1st and 10. Passes to the 5. Ray Jackson, the sophomore fullback from Indianapolis. Do you know that only one Michigan football team has started 0-2 since 1959? That was Bo Schembechler's 1988 team. They went 0-2. After that, folks, they went 9-0-1, and they beat USC in the Rose Bowl. There's one goal that Lloyd Carr can use to drive this team, and that is the Big Ten race has not yet started. There's that one goal left, and he can use that 1988 team to prove his point. We're going to take a break. We'll come right back. Here's Hinson handing off, and the young man barges in again. Did he break the plane? Indeed he did, and it will be a Michigan touchdown for Walter Cross, his second of the game.
That takes a little sting out of this domination by Syracuse, but not much.
And it gives Cross 104 yards in 10 carries, averaging better than 10 yards a pop and 2 touchdowns. That's quite a fourth quarter for the young man. Extra point by Jay Feely. Good. Check in. Exploit that for the Irish. But the coaching staff in South Bend has to be very pleased with how they played last week against Michigan. Here comes the expected onside kick by Feely. It's 10 yards, got it high bounce, caught by Streets. Successful onside kick and a good-looking one at that.
He had a real good one last week, a surprise onside kick against Notre Dame. That one is just perfect the way it hopped over the first line of Orangeman. It stayed low to begin with. Watch this big hop right here. That's just being lucky as it goes over Spotwood's head right to Streets. Now, people say, well, why didn't he try to pick it up on the run? You can't advance an onside kick. He did the right thing, catching it and getting down.
And we'll get to watch Hinson fire a few more rockets. 4 wideouts. Steps up, goes deep and out of bounds. Terrell was the intended receiver. 49 seconds left, and a reminder that tomorrow 3 Eastern, 2 Pacific will bring 49 ticks of the clock left, and everybody getting ready to jump in for a little news here, I'm sure, for the next hour prior to the start of that football game with all the breaking developments in Washington. Going to stop the clock again with a Michigan first down as Bryant steps out of bounds. 42 seconds remaining, first down and 10.
Henson seems to throw the intermediate ball very well, a lot of zip on it. The only balls that he hasn't thrown very well today are the long ones. Overthrew 2 in the first half, and then the last one he tried to hit Bryant down the sidelines, was about 8 yards out of bounds.
The coaches here are working with a millionaire quarterback. How about that? High and incomplete. His teammates, of course, have been kidding him and saying, come on, you pick up all the dinner checks when we're on the road, and why don't you buy that dormitory floor that you're on over there? And the coaches say he's handling it all very well, and very low key. Came to training camp in a used car. Probably left the BMW back in the garage, is the way I figure it. But the heck, George Steinbrenner wants to give you $2 million. Why not? Second down and 10 now for the Wolverines, and young Hinson going to fire one deep to the end zone. Here goes Terrell, overthrow.
What he's got to learn to do on these long passes is to give his receiver more of a chance to catch the ball. Why not just throw the jump ball to Terrell? Heck, he's 6'3".
You got to cross that spot.
Ball remains of a 32.
He's 5 of 15 for 60 yards. Great coaching voice, Pasqualoni. You can hear him all the way upstairs when he yells. It's a boomer. 3rd down and 10. He did not want to give up this touchdown here late in this game. Henson steps away. Fire across the body. High. God, Terrell couldn't hang on a little high.
That may give Michigan fans something to think about. They're clapping right now, and they expect much more of that from Henson, but that shows you his ability. Running to his left, he put that ball right where Terrell should have made that catch.
Here's 4th down. Pasqualoni urging the defense to hold here and not give up another one.
They're going to go for it.
You bet they're going to go for it.
Let's go for it.
You can hear the coaches. High, got it. Bryant snares it. 1st down, Michigan. Clock stops on a 1st down in the college game. 18 seconds.
2 plays in a row, Henson showed off his excellent mobility.
Henson fires quickly, and it's dropped by Terrell. Man, should have had that baby.
And Vernon Banks let him know about it with the hit right to the chops. Gotta back off some of these microphones, Coach. They're coaching for 60 minutes.
It's great to see. Yeah, I was about to say, Dad, it's interesting to watch the urgency on both sidelines of these coaches. And you can hear them so beautifully with our audio because the crowd is thinned out. It's fun.
Get on him!
To the middle. No, Knight had to turn around.
Henson's pass intended for Marcus Knight.
Six ticks left.
Stay inside him! Force him around you, drop chase him!
You can hear that coach, man. Stay inside him, huh?
Don't let him get inside. Keep that inside relationship to the receiver.
Run, walk out!
A little coaching clinic here in the last couple of seconds.
Here's Henson, middle, got him, Knight, touchdown, Michigan. There's your quarterback of the future. In Ann Arbor, freshman Drew Henson, 6'4", 221 pounds. Michigan can say, forget the first 3 quarters. Our freshman did very well in the 4th.
He threw a touchdown pass last week against Notre Dame. And that was a beauty that time, right over the middle.
From behind, Feely with 3 ticks left on the clock. Off the upright and made it. So Henson on the day, 7 of 20, 92 yards and a touchdown.
The coach was telling the defensive backs, don't let them get inside. Well, this receiver got inside. Knight with the easy catch and a very catchable ball from the quarterback right in front of his nose. Easy 6.
It'll look a little more respectable than those wire service reports and those news stories that go out across the country, and some of those folks in the other regions didn't watch the game, and they won't realize by just looking at the raw score how Syracuse dominated them. Those of you who have watched the game and have been taking notes and paying close attention, you know that this was all Syracuse here today. Now, when you feed into the computer that kind of stuff on this bowl championship series, do you tell the computer that they dominated, or is it just the raw score? I'm just asking.
I think it's just the raw score.
You bet it's just the raw score.
I don't think the computer's that smart. I know when I'm working it isn't.
Let's see if they can pull off another onside kick here in the last play.
Yeah, you got a 10-point play, Brent?
There it is, high. This one's recovered by Syracuse. And this will be the final snap coming up. They'll take a knee, no doubt, and head on out with a 10-point win. Donovan McNabb and the Orangemen go 1-1, lose a 1-pointer to Tennessee, come into the big house, the largest crowd ever to watch a college football game on campus, in excess of 111,000. And for Michigan, they take heart because they loved what they saw of their freshmen in the fourth quarter, and they want to see more of them as the season unfolds. And still ahead of them is the Big Ten.
That really is the important thing, Brent, the Big Ten championship.
There it is, the knee, and it's over. A wonderful job by Donovan McNabb. And a reminder, coming up now in less than an hour, East Lansing, Notre Dame, and Michigan State. Can the Irish make it 2-0? For all of us, I'm Brent Musburger. We hope you've enjoyed this game from the Big House. Syracuse wins it 38-28. So long, everybody.